the time to put her away, I took it. That's our federal right.
Mm-hmm.
And so they let me go, and I got a chance to take veterans up to Standing Rock, meet people with big names, and sent them letters to OU and got me in because I was denied twice.
Mm-hmm.
The third time, I put my stuff on, man, my stomp dance hat, my jean jacket, my moccasins, everything I had. Said, y'all said this is for me, and I'm taking it. And then I was in. And then every time between there, I was kind of working for that construction team building the law library. And Joe Harris was the dean at that time. Every morning, I just meet him. He goes, hey, if you're ever thinking about going to law school, come find me. Well, that time came.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in and asked him to be my mentor for our people, and I took tobacco. Not regular tobacco like cigarette tobacco, but from over the East Coast. Pipe tobacco for us, for the Indian people. So I talked to him every once in a while to let him know where I've been doing. And I told him about the federal court. Now, there is an Indian Claims Commission we can do to get the monies, but we want justice because they're stealing children. So that's the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned that if I can go on live TikToks, the people can gift. So if I can take them on the journey to how to save the people. Because Tecumseh tried to do that once too, twice in his lifetime. Gather all the people, incorporating into one under one chief to good, safe, and harm from want and despair in good order. If I can pick up this charter, because I have everything to do it, I can do the application because the Pamunkeys just got federally recognized. It's just a couple of pieces of paper, get the Kickapoo Council, have a vote, send it off, move up to Kansas, because I'm going by the faith belief, not by the blood quantum.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the truth. The Greenville has Chippewas, Eel River, Kaskaskias, Kickapoo, Shawnees, and a little bit more. So that's a faith belief people. So if you believe like this, we're going up here to Kansas to safeguard the children. Because it can be done, just like the Ketchashawano your dad talks about, the unknown warrior. Well, I know what it is. It's that corporation. It has to be a new one, formed for all cultural people as the shareholders. Just like it's supposed to be general counsel at the Shawnees as it once was. Because it used to be 3 days we stayed there sometimes, which was fun for us kids. We saw our cousins and things, cut ball, tag, cartoon freeze tag, all kinds of stuff,
But now it's Robert's Rules of Order.
Yeah, yeah, Black's Law. That's what they're using, and that's not our law. That's how you know it's a fraud. But you won't know unless you get your code of laws. But you have to be from a ceremonial ground or from an Indian house to really make that stand. You couldn't be like my sister and have a job there and try to make a stand because you're going to fear for losing all your stuff, what monies you get. But like Grandma Helen, she's a hustler like me. We have to go find the money, which we shouldn't because that corporation is supposed to provide for you.
Mm-hmm.
So for the Kickapoo Council and me sharing that corporate charter with them, you're going to get informed of what is yours. Don't go by where you're at, like corporate enrollment. Go by your treaty enrollment by the BIA because that's tied to land. So I have land with the Shawnees and Kickapoos. I have land interest in both. So I'm on that road because they give us money for education, the corporate road. But I have the land. I'm a shareholder. They just want to play that blood quantum thing. Well, you're a quarter. How can you be a quarter of a belief system? You can't. Either you are or you're not. A Christian or you're not. You're a heathen or barbarian or whatever. Gentile, I think they say. But for us, we are the people that formed that to provide for us. Your son too, and so on, as long as we don't start dividing our people into halves, because that's the problem. They steal our babies when they do that. That's what my Grandma Corn said all my life. Don't marry outside your people, because they're going to take your kids. They're going to take your babies. And I've seen it. They've done it even to me, my full-blood babies. So there's a law there. And I've seen it broken. My cousin Sherry got with Mark, and he's a black guy. So that was a black mark against Sherry. That's what Uncle Bud said. And Grandma wouldn't see her for a year, man. It took a while for her to warm up to Mark, because it's a law. So once you start playing in Babylon, you forget the law, then you think, it's a long time ago. Well, we still exist who are still doing it, and we just have to sustain ourselves when we go to Critter, where he knows us. You can't be going through some of these things like my family does and gets regalia and takes them to the church thing. They're going to show up at the wrong heaven. That Peter's not going to let him in because he
Right.
looks like an Indian. No Indians are in here. Nope. Because we're supposed to convert you to Christianity. You don't show up like that.
Mm-hmm.
He won't get into those pearly gates and mansions and golden streets. But as we go over to the Indian house, we go over the Milky Way. And just like your dad said, there's people on the shore. They don't know who's coming, but they know it's family.
Mm-hmm.
And they're always waiting the expectation of who comes across that water.
Right.
And when they do, boy, it's a celebration because all the Indians are there, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that movie Black Robe, that dude was going to die, man. That Black Robe was over there talking to him. And he's about ready to pass out and die in the wilderness. He goes, Black Robe, is it true that there are many mansions up there? He says, yes, it is true. Because he's about to die, so the Black Robe thinks he's going to convert him and save him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he keeps on asking, is it true there's a place up there for me that he's making? Yes, it is. It's true. He says, are there many black robes up there? He says, yes, there is. I don't want to go. I want to go with my people, where my people go.
Yeah, my mom talked about that too, about earning your spot. She calls it an Indian heaven. You know, you got to leave your tracks down here in order to get your way in. You know, you can say all you want, but and you know, and a lot of people now don't even know their Indian names. Why they have it?
Or they're buying them,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I've seen it all the time. You watch like that AST forum. There's
They
a
won't let
girl
me on. They won't let me
one
on.
time, she's like,
They won't let me on.
they won't let you on there?
Uh-uh.
They said I was a girl put on there. You know, how can my kids get Indian names? And I wanted to say, for what reason?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like it's a luxury. It's a responsibility. You have to take care of it and you have to use it. So if you're not willing to put in the time, don't get it. You know, and it's just, you know, and I know, like my dad, he's told people no.
Because he'll ask, what for?
Yeah. Well,
Because
what do you
if you're
need
not going to
name
be
for?
here at the house, what are you going to be using it for?
Yeah.
You know? Where are you going to sit at?
You know, are you gonna go out and you're gonna go get these deer ribs we need?
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna go do this stuff? No, then you don't need it. You know, because it's too much responsibility for you. That's
It's a
always-
choice, you know. We talked about it at Fish Pond. We had the last talk over there after we played stickball and left it open to talk. And it's a choice you have to make. Either be out here and try to prosper, or you have to give up your culture.
Mhm.
But you got to find out the value of our culture. And you'll find out that this stuff out there is done compared to that. You know, if you know where those spirits sit around those arbors,
Mhm.
you know, the ones that became food for us, and those animals that come here and we sit in their spots, we're just as powerful as them. You know, they don't know those things. You know,
Funny you say that, because I'll tell you a story of me and my dad. And I told him, I said, took me a while to mature and understand.
it takes us a while, bro.
You know,
We're young.
they always told us, me and my brother and my sister have always, I'm going to say, sat in important seats. And I always wondered why one time. Why? And, you know, and they always get the same response. Well, when you all were born, this is with your grandmas and grandpas that they said you were destined for this. Oh, okay. Just dismiss it. All right. So, you fast forward, I'm 24 years old and I'm going to have a kid, and boy, he comes into this world and gets just old enough where he can sit up on his own, that back strong enough he can sit up. Hey, time to give him a name. All right, so I called my dad. I didn't think anything about it. I was relying on him. And he said, won't you ask your Aunt Marilyn? Let her name him. Okay. I went. Well, she said, yeah, I'll name him. So, well, we did everything, and they took him in an Indian house and gave him a name and
a puppy.
said, okay, here's his name. So, boy, you know, later that spring, we was having dance over here. Come over there and going around, and everybody's asking, you know, what's his name? And they had always given us names that could be used
Perpetual.
Kickapoo and Shawnee.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're the same, though.
Yeah.
You know.
And they always give us names that do that. And so I said, you know, it's his name. And I tell them, his name is Naseskaka. And they're like, oh. And so one of them said, that's an old name. That's an old-timey name. They said, I was told Richard Gibson's dad, that was his name. They said that was Grandpa Richard's dad's name. That's an old name.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what is he? He said, Bear Clan. I said, oh. Now, I was all happy, proud, you know. And I got to thinking one day, I said, wait a minute. We messed up. Because my brother and my sister belong to my dad.
Yep. That's what I was saying. Firstborn.
And I belong to my mom.
Uh-huh.
We're the Shawnees of the group, of the family. They're the Kickapoos, but they took him and gave him a Kickapoo name. And I thought, man, we really messed this up.
Not really.
Now, and that's what I come to find out. And so, fast forward about 8 or 9 years, they's having bread dance over there. And boy, they got to that 5th seat. And they put that bear, they put that coon in there. Something with fur. They went and got him. Little dude. Put him in that seat, and I got to thinking, I was like, So one day I told my dad, I told him that exact same story. I said, boy, I really felt like we messed up. He goes, no. He goes, this is the way it's supposed to be. You're going to see. So I'm like, all right. So, boy, they had dance and everything. And every time they needed a bear, they put him in that seat. And it took me a couple of years to realize we didn't mess up. Shawnees didn't have a bear. He's the only one.
It's
And by us
smaller
doing
now.
what we did, we gave them a bear back.
Mm-hmm.
So now they have a bear. Got plenty of coons, but they needed that bear. And we gave it to him. And then I looked and he kind of smiled one day and he goes, well, you know, what we do is already preordained. You know, we just acted out. We don't know why. But that's what we did, is we gave them that bear back. And it really made me laugh one time because we were having fall dance. Boy, they were setting them dancers on that log. Boy, they were zipping through them. And they went and got him and put him in that 5th spot, that bear seat. And my grandma was Queen Lady. She went over and got Marilyn. Put her in that 5th seat, that bear seat opposite him. And I was like, oh, snap. You know, now it makes sense. Yeah, it all makes sense. And that's what's funny about this, is that my mom's grandma lived over, you know, with Kickapoos for a long time. She could talk Kickapoo, Shawnee, all these
Well,
languages.
all the Indians could speak Indian.
Yeah,
Didn't matter who it was.
Yeah. And I told my dad, I said, you know, I find it funny. I said that your side of the family and my mom's side of the family has been intertwined for about 200 years. I said, they've lived together and everything together. And then here we come, you know, to tie it all up. And now we got another generation coming through, and I thought we made a mistake. I said, but in hindsight,
It's needed.
yeah, we gave them back a bear. So, you know, now they have a bear who uses his name. You know, you need one? There he is. You know, who is Shawnee. And I've met people in my own family, my own extended family, that said one time,